Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mankind, I want dessert. I need the flan kind.
We are here. It's the host of the Takeover Lounge as well, Z, Give, and Daniela. We got a special guest, honestly, all around the room today. We got Spiral Productions in the background making some noise, doing their thing with the productions. They out here cheering, silent cheering, because, you know, we doing our thing. And we also, yeah, there we go. Look, some live audience, you know what I mean? But now we got Tommy Will in the house, you know what I'm saying? Finally,
Absolutely.
We had some technical difficulties on the first one, but we're doing it again. Were you? Well, don't be sad because we're back. That's true. That is true. But a lot of things have happened in the past like 3 weeks since we recorded. A ton. So we got a lot to talk about. Shout out to everybody that's listening on the podcast right now. Audio. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for supporting. Go to the Patreon, man. Go show some love on the Patreon. Throw us $10 a month to see this full episode with Tommy Will and Spiral Production Down the Spiral. We are here. And without further ado, let's get into it, Daniela.
All right.
Throw an extra 10 on that, too. You don't have to do just 10.
Thanks, Tommy. I want to start off with thank you for these great, comfortable hoodies, and let's talk about it. It's your own fitness brand that you're coming about.
Yes.
When is it dropping? What made you think about it?
So everything was really about just expanding my reach creatively. So I've always been into, fitness and working out and playing basketball and everything like that. So around Tucson, there's a few brands that definitely inspired me to get started with that. One being Elite Culture, of course. Shout out, the homie. And then Get It In, the Get It In brand was also another one. And I wanted to bring more of myself into the community other than just music, because as y'all know as well, I started dabbling in photography and videography as well. So I felt it was just kind of like expanding my hand creatively. So I created Villain Circle, which is the name of the brand. And what it really is when you start going into a certain place where you're taking care of yourself, and you're focused on, a goal, a lot of other people will, not necessarily doubt you, but they're like, well, why can't you do this with us? And you're like, well, I can't because I have to stay focused, whether it's school, whether it's the gym, trying to get in shape, whether it's just whatever goal it is, right? So you end up being the bad guy because you're not interacting with people the way that you used to. You're putting yourself first, right? So that's where I came up with Villain Circle, embrace being the bad guy. If it's for yourself, you got to put yourself first. That's something that I learned musically, but I also want to put that in as far as any goals, dedication, things of that nature. So it's welcome to the circle is like the mantra for Villain Circle. So I'm hoping to drop in about 2-3 weeks would be the first capsule. I want to do it kind of like in seasons. So I already have a couple teas. Shout out to Poison Boys. They helped me print up the first batch. So I have some tees, different colors. I have the gray hoodies that y'all are sporting for me. Thank you very much for accepting those. But I'm really excited about it. It's always a challenge, and I always try to think big. So I'm trying to be like the Gymshark, the next Gymshark kind of like situation. Happens. If it doesn't, hey, like I can say 5 years from now, like, yo, I had a fitness brand.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter to me. I just want to do it because I want to do it.
Right.
So yeah.
That's dope. I like these. You're comfortable. He put me
so
in.
soft.
He said
Super comfy, bro. Super comfy, I'm telling you.
He said he wears a medium when he works out, and
Wear a medium.
He gave this to me, and I was like, bro, this a little tight.
5'11", 220, bro. I wear a medium.
Right? I'm surprised you fit in this. I was barely fitting in this too, but hey, y'all,
You look swole, bro.
Catch me at LA Fitness. Y'all don't want the smoke. What's good with it?
Arms out.
Me and Tommy gonna be in there lifting big weights. What's good?
I'm saying.
Facts. Speaking of your fitness journey, I mean, you got back into your fitness journey from being away for a little bit. How's that been? You've been talking about Claim Your Mountain a lot on Instagram.
Yes, man. Yes. Okay, so pretty much what had happened was, like I said, I've always been into it, but I started taking it more seriously as of recently because there's a quote kind of going around, and it's always made sense, but it's if you don't make time for your health, you'll be forced to make time for your illness, right? And you guys know how in depth I get musically.
Right.
And I've very much so tried to put myself in the shoes of being a true artist all the way around. So, you know, I come in here and this is a sanctuary for me. And all of my vices come with me, right? I'm in a room by myself in the dark, a couple lights shining, and I let everything out. There's no one here to judge me. You know, I let everything out and it gets to my health. I mean, there's times to where I really feel like my body is completely shutting down, right? So I've just recently told myself, like, look, you know, things have happened to where now I have the ability to actually have music as a career after 16 years. And we'll get to that because I
yes,
can't
we
wait
will.
to share
Yes,
that.
we will.
So it's like I want to be here for the longevity. Now, the last 15 years, I haven't treated it that way, right? So I told myself, you know what, I'm going to start going up to Umamak, you know, every day for the rest of the month. The first day I go up, as I'm on the way up, there's a guy that's coming down, and I had my head down. I was just kind of going, and he's like, yo, keep going. I'm like, thank you, brother. He's like, this is your mountain. You going hard. This is your mountain, right? So I told myself, of course, you know, trying to be an artist, I turned it into a metaphor, you know, and all this other shit. So I'm like, yo, I was like, cool, like he said it, right? That doesn't mean that it's true.
Right.
So I have to make it true. So then once I got to the top, I was like, yo, claim your mountain. Just because he said it doesn't mean that. Right. But I made it so. I made it happen. And then I told myself every day I'm going to make it happen, right? Whether it's actually climbing Tumamoc or coming in and getting these records done or making sure I hold myself accountable for everything that I say that I'm going to do, which I'm still working on. But, you know, every day, it doesn't have to be the mountain. It could be a day job. It could be, you know, loving your family. It could be making sure, you know, you get to that promotion at work, whatever it is.
Right.
No, you have to claim it every single day, right? Because it's more than just verbiage. And you have to make it true for yourself, right? And that's an issue that I see with a lot of people, a lot of artists, and they take the words of others so seriously that they start slacking, right?
Get comfortable.
And exactly, you get comfortable and you get content, and that's not the way to do it, right?
Right.
Because then you don't continue to push, right? So I want to make sure with that, whether, you know, I'm still getting into the mode of people taking what I say seriously in essence,
Right.
you know? So, and I ended up, you know, touching a few people who wrote me back and they were like, yeah, like, you know, you inspired me to do this. I get notes and, you know, things of this nature, and it's been awesome. So, you know, Claim Your Mountain is what that ended up being.
That's
So
dope. Shout out to the homeboy that said that to you at the
man, he
mountain.
had an ASU shirt on, so I wasn't really
Oh,
fucking
no.
with it. You know, but you know, he gave me some inspiration. He gave me some light. So yeah,
I'm gonna just shut up. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna
say
give him a
anything.
halfway shout out.
Yeah, halfway shout out.
Halfway shout
ASU, dude.
Z.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh. So what would be some of the ways you de-stress?
Nothing.
I
Nothing.
hate
I
that
keep the
answer.
stress. I keep the stress on me. I keep the stress on me. No, honestly, so I try to put myself in a schedule at all times, right? So to be able to enjoy certain things, they have a time and a time limit, which is low-key been fucked up, right? But I've enjoyed it, and it's helping me in the long run because it's really like I work hard now so I don't have to work hard later.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole joint. So, I mean, at night when I go home after the day, you know, I love watching Family Guy. I love watching First 48. You know, and that's my time to watch those things. The Mike Tyson documentary came out. I can't wait to watch that.
Lit.
I still haven't watched The Last Dance. I've watched portions of it. You know what I'm saying? But like
I
things
haven't
like
watched
that.
it.
Like, so that's kind of like my de-stress moment. I like literally changed up my whole room recently, and like, because I've moved around so much, you know, in my life with my dad being military,
Right,
and then
right.
going to different colleges and moving around city to city, that my home or my room never felt like that. It was always just like it was a hotel.
Like, yeah,
It was just a place to
temporary.
sleep, right? Because even looking at it right now, I'm here until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And then I go home, I go to sleep, I wake up at like 8, I go to the gym and I start my day. So it's like, why am I even gonna treat this place like a sanctuary? This was my sanctuary, the studio. So I just recently did it because I'm like, man, I wanna be comfortable in my own, and wake up, go to sleep in a good mood, wake up in a good mood type of situation. So that actually really helped me very much. And then also just conversating with other artists and, speaking on things much higher, than just rap, So I would definitely say Family Guy for sure. Food, I'm a Little Caesars fanatic.
Shout out Little Caesars.
Bro, shout out, bro.
Never changing their prices, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Stay $5. That's the homie for life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, no, just having some good food, having good company, and watching a little bit of TV. That's kind of where I calm down. At that point.
You still got your pup, right? Yeah.
Sorry.
You got your pup. Your puppy?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
He's
my
so
love.
cute.
Hey man, shout out Zuli, man. Zuli, my little blue healer. She killed like a little baby Komodo dragon the other day, which was fucking wild. Yeah, no, 100%. I don't know if it was actually a Komodo dragon, but that thing was thick, bro.
Dang.
That thing was thick, and it looked exotic as fuck, But yeah, she's
a dragon
wild.
slayer.
She's a dragon slayer, straight up, bro, straight up.
That's
But
old is
yeah,
she
no,
now?
she's a little over 2.
okay.
I've never really had a puppy before. I've never, or any pet, honestly.
Okay.
So she really changed my dynamic of being at home as well because I've always wanted kids, man. I've always wanted kids, and getting to my age is kind of like I base a lot off of my parents too.
Right, okay.
My father had my sister when he was 25, 26, and then he had me when he was 30.
Okay.
So like to me in my life path, I'm late.
Right.
Already. So having her is just like, that's my daughter, man.
Right.
Like I dress
That's
her up, we do all types of stuff. Like, I love her to death, man. She definitely brought out a different side of me that, I didn't have growing up. So,
Shout out to Zulu. Is her name?
Zuli, man.
Zuli,
Zuli, yeah.
Zuli. Shout out Zuli, man. Blue
My little
Healers,
baby.
they got a lot of energy, don't they?
Bro, so much. So much. She always has to have a plan, and that's why we connect.
Okay.
Because I always have my plan. She always has to have a plan, and you have to wake up and just get to it. And she does that, bro. 6 o'clock in the morning, she's in my face, ready to get up, and ready to get the day started.
Right.
Like she literally changed my whole dynamic. She's part of my schedule. I haven't set an alarm in 2 years.
Shout out to pup.
Straight up, like she wakes me up at 6 a.m. every day.
That never fails. Never fails.
Never fails.
It's crazy.
She's ready to go, man. She's ready to go. Love
It's
her.
crazy. I wanted to talk about, just comparing, like, kind of like your life to other people. I mean, your people are your parents, obviously. I mean, you talked about it for a little bit, but I mean, we're seeing it a lot more within our youth and within our community, which is like constantly comparing each other to like Instagram. Like, yo, he's 18 and he's whipping what, and I'm 18 and I'm still going to school. He's 18 and he buy his mom a crib. What? Like, am I behind or something? And so there's always like this chase, like trying to keep up. Like, how do you deal with that, or do you not pay any mind?
It was hard at first, right? Because when I first started rap at 16.
Okay, right.
Right. As soon as I moved back to Arizona, the first person I met was like, "Yo, what's your name?" and like, "Yo, do you rap?" It was weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't rap.
Right.
But I was at a new school. I hadn't been I was born here, but I hadn't been back at like an age to where I remembered anything, right?
Right.
So I just said, yeah, I did. So then I'm hanging out with them. Like there was a whole group of them that rapped, and like I'm starting to write raps and stuff like that. And so at that time it was like, yo, I just want to rap because I felt like it got me friends, right? So at that point in my mind, I was like, yo, I want to be like, this is the time Chris Brown was starting, Bieber and stuff like that. So you're looking at people that are 16, 15, 14 years old, getting this renowned fame, right?
Thanks.
And you're like, what am I doing wrong, right? And looking back on it, it's like if I were to have gotten picked up at that age, I would have been fucked for the rest of my life because there's no way I would have known how to handle any of that situation. No people in my life that I would have trusted to help me out in those kind of situations, right? So, but I always wanted to be that kid that the industry saw grow up. That was something that was always in my head. But like I said, like their journey was not my journey, right? I'm only ready for the things that have come my way now because I was able to prepare that whole time, this 16 years, for the moment that finally came. Right? So I don't look to other people like, yo, great for them. you know, and especially people that actually make it through, because now that's why you hear about some of these people. So-and-so going bankrupt. So-and-so's getting into trouble. So-and-so's hooked on drugs. All this stuff because they don't have people around them that are helping them to get through these situations. They don't know it, right? So that's what I try to do with For the Record, with the class. I try to help these people out. Like, yo, like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. You know what? Great idea. I tried something similar. That's how it worked out for me. Try it this way to get to the same end goal and see what happens. Because these are the mistakes that I made in that.
Definitely.
Right? So that's the whole thing with that. But yeah, I never looked to someone else's path and try to treat it as my own because it wasn't meant for me.
Right.
You know?
Good. Shout out Tommy Will, dropping them gems. Y'all better get your notebook. Y'all better get a notepad and some pen and paper. What you talking about?
I appreciate you, man.
So you mentioned For the Record. Let's talk more about it. What does the class entail? How do you become a part of it if people are interested into it? And what made you want to start it?
So to kind of to go backwards on that, what made me want to start it is because, like a lot of people say, like, you always want something that you didn't have growing up, right? So when I was first starting with rap, this was something that was not, you know, around or available to me to help me learn those situations, right? So that's something that I wanted to create because I felt like I got somewhere into the community to where people at least looked to me and took my opinion at least with a grain of salt. Right. And were able to, like, whether they, you know, agreed with it or not, they were like, they listened. So For the Record was something that I created for that. And then, I mean, to get into it, you just have to literally hit me up or show up. You know, the first session is we do it every Monday from 8 to 10 here in the studio. The first session is always free just to see if it's even for you. Right. Other than that, it's kind of like a membership thing. And that's literally just to, you know, help pay rent on the studio. Yeah, and then just, you know, if you want to join For the Record, you know, just send me a message or anybody that's involved in the class.
You don't have to just be an artist, right? You got DJs in there.
Literally we do. So we have DJs in there. We have people that do YouTube and things of that nature. We had a gentleman that did, he does Desert Daiquiris. He came in for a session to check it out and stuff like that. And it's literally because it's technically it's music, business, and ethics, but in the whole scheme of things, it's just business and ethics, right? Because you just want to, there's small things, and the way that I kind of describe it is people are trying to get to this goal here, and they're just kind of moving like this, and all I'm trying to do is put them to a straight path to help them get to wherever they see themselves in 5 years. I want to help them get there in 2. That's the biggest thing, literally just by preaching my mistakes.
So that's awesome.
There's also 2 other. Did he answer all of them?
I think so. I think he hit the 3-part.
Maybe, did I not?
Probably
What
did.
was it? It was, why do I do it? How do you get to be a part of it? And
What does it entail?
what does it entail? Yeah, so music,
Yeah.
business, and ethics, you know, we go about everything from, you know, ads to how to do a full rollout to how to create content to how to get more social media engagement, you know, everything of that nature. And it's not like I know all of these things, but we learn them together, right? So that's the biggest thing, because I learn stuff every Monday. You know, people bring up things and they ask me questions about such and such, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know, but we gonna find out.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day. So, you know, that's the beautiful thing about it. You know, we're definitely a, you know, a tight-knit community. Like, we say this all the time in class, like this floor that we're on right here, like there's been many tears shed on this floor, right? This past Monday, we had a mental health day. And literally just talked about, like, yo, like, get happy. We talked about why we're sad, why we, you know, what our weaknesses are and stuff like that. And then we went about, like, our strengths, you know, and just living, you know, life for other people, man. Like, I mean, not living life for other people, but living life for ourselves in regards to the people that are close to us and looking out for us, you know? So, you know, it's like I said, it's more than just music.
Definitely.
So it's a family, man. So
That's sick. I like that,
man. And I would love to have y'all for a session too, man. If y'all are ever free for a Monday night, please come by.
Oh, definitely have to do that now. I mean, I like how you talked about the mental health component, because
100%. It's real, bro.
It is.
It's real.
And it's just crazy. I don't know if y'all looked on or heard on TikTok or Twitter, but Juice WRLD, one of his photographers, came out and was talking about Juice WRLD and how the overdose happened, and that story was just so sad. You know, as somebody that appreciates music and appreciates artistry and the hip hop community, like seeing Juice go through that struggle with his mental health and using substances, it's so sad, man. And it's preventable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
a lot of people don't realize that at the time, but I mean, it's definitely preventable, and we want to be there for our artists. And too many young people been passing away due to just their mental health not being just healthy. So I'm just glad you do that for them, man, because it's something that needs to be talked about and not stigmatized anymore. You know what I mean?
100%. And I need to do it for myself too, for my own well-being. Like, it's not just to, make a buck or like anything like that. It's literally just, I felt like it was necessary for me to continue growing in the space that I'm in,
Right.
to do something of this capacity. And it just happened to work out, So shout out everybody in the class.
Yes.
Masvas, Cygnus, Trauma, Mazen, Sonic J. We got Truth. Truth is
they
in
all
there.
fit in here?
DJ Enzyme. We got I don't know if I said Cygnus again. Nemesis. And Salute.
Where y'all sit?
And oh man, this whole area, bro. This is us. This is us.
Where do you
Damn.
sit?
I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I really hope I'm not. I don't think I am, but I hope I'm not.
Don't take it personal either. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
please
on
don't.
the fly.
Please don't.
I mean, he's like, I don't have my attendance sheet here, but
No, shout out my guys, man. Shout out my guys.
that's awesome. So let's talk about the music, man. Let's talk about what you've been working on.
Bro.
I want to get into a lot of things, but I'll let you. I want you to lead this conversation. Where do you want to take us with this? What have you been working on?
So first off, as of 3 days ago,
Okay, it's like Monday.
it was Monday. I officially signed my record deal.
You got what?
I officially signed my record
T-Will
deal
got a record deal.
to Acme Music.
Oh man,
I am completely and utterly grateful,
that's huge.
to the team. And, we've been working for about a year and a half. And, it came to a point. I was at LA Fitness on the cycle 3 months ago, right?
Wow.
And they called me, and they were like, "What do you do for work?" And I'm like, "I serve tables." And they was like, "What would it take for you to not do that anymore?"
Right.
And so we started like going through stuff, and pretty much at the end of the day, they was like, "Yo, we want to make it to where you don't have to work to create music anymore. We want you to just be strictly music." So then we talked. So for the last 3 months, we've been going through not necessarily like negotiations, but trying to make it work and stuff like that. We finally came to a common ground, and I love all the people over there. They definitely treat me like family. They look to me and they give me a confidence in music that not a lot of other people have been able to give me. And it felt right, and it felt like family. And
awesome.
I got to a point finally after 16 years that I can finally say that music is my career.
That's
you
dope.
know? So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tommy Will, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Will. I know y'all clapping on the screen and whatnot, but Tommy Will, man, that's crazy.
yeah, it
just-
seems so surreal too.
It's cool because as soon as you started talking about it, your like whole face just lit up.
Glows.
Like it was just like a long time coming. But like you said, that 16 years puts you in preparation for this moment.
Exactly. It made me ready for the moment, and that's another thing that I try to preach into the class, but I don't want to, backtrack. But,
Right.
you can't always, pray on things and hold things happen when you're not ready. They're not happening because you're not ready in the moment.
Right.
And they will. You just have to stay prepared and keep going and hold yourself accountable.
Definitely. That's dope. I want to know what the record deal entails. Can you talk about it a little bit or just
Yeah, so
okay.
pretty much, so Acme is a sync house.
Okay.
So this goes back into what we talked about last time about the movie trailers,
Right,
and
right,
TV,
right,
commercial, and things of that nature. I landed a song on the next season of Ghost, which
Nice.
is the Power sequel. So I have 2 songs on Ghost coming up in September.
That's crazy.
One is called Credit. The other one, I can't necessarily remember the name. But so 2 songs coming out on that, and that's kind of like the start. And then we've just been messing around. I've met so many talented producers and like people that have 200, 300, 400 trailers like out.
Wow.
Right? And I'm able to like work with these people. I released The Heart of a King, which we talked about last time, which was with Nathan Fields is what he goes by now. At the time, it was Nato Fields. Incredibly talented dude. This man has done so many like real like things that I've seen, and I'm like, bro, this is you, and you sending me beats? Like what
Right.
is this? And that's why music is so magical, bro. Like it brings people from so many different paths of life and things like that. And once it gets to a certain point, it's more than just status, right? It's creating the best possible product, and in their eyes, us working together and piecing these things create the best possible product. So those are situations to where it's like I can't stop, I can't hold back, I have to hold myself accountable. I have to be in here for 12 hours, right? Because I'm not gonna let another opportunity slip out of my hands ever again. So yeah, I mean.
We about to see Tommy. We
Shout
about
out
to hear
to
Tommy
Abby,
Will
man.
on the big
Everywhere.
screen in the movie theaters.
Everywhere.
Man, one of these days, man. One of these days, it's just a process. Got to stay slow and just continue to do what I've been doing.
Right.
It's just keeping my head down and working and working and working, and
Don't deviate.
whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate you.
Aw. I know in the past you've had a big problem with getting stuck in your head and not thinking that your music is worthy enough for a particular opportunity. How have you grown from that to where you are right now?
So I'll forever be a realist, right? And a realist in the sense of I know what I'm capable of in the moment, right? And I've actually had this conversation a couple times, and I've learned that there's very much so downsides to that, right? So by understanding what I'm capable of in the moment and what I can do and make happen has actually brought my bigger dreams in life down because I'm thinking those aren't attainable in the moment, right? So as far as like thinking like what other people think about my music, I've actually gotten to a point of confidence to where it's like I literally don't care.
Yeah.
I literally don't, right? So I literally wear what I want to wear. I make music the way that I want to make music. But the way that
The way he wanted to do his hair.
and all that stuff, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like there was a confidence in the last time I took my braids out and had my hair out like this. Like there was a confidence, like there was a power in my hair. It's weird, you know what I'm saying? But it, like all of that, there's such a confidence in me to where it's like when I step out or I step on stage or I go into a music video, I'm Tommy Will at all times. I'm Nate with my family, but I am Tommy Will absolutely everywhere else. And people can see the confidence, they can see the heart, and they can see the passion, whether it's in the way that I walk, I talk, or in my eyes, they can sense that, right? Because I carry it with me everywhere, right? And that's what you have to be, those people at all times, man. You got to be Z-Give at all times, bro. You got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where you're at. And once I got that particular, confidence instilled in myself, that's when I started to see things change. And I started to see more progression. Right, people started reaching out to me a little more and talking about things again more than music. That's the bigger picture, right? All of that. So, it was really just having that confidence in myself that it doesn't matter, what I do. I'm going to do it regardless, and people are going to receive it in the way that I want them to. So it was tough. It was tough to get out of that, but I feel like I did it.
Yeah.
That's dope. She said, good. So, music related, even more so. I was lucky enough to be able to sit in on a cipher, on a bootleg Kev cipher, and shout out to y'all, for everybody out of Tucson that let me.
I was,
You
I
were
was,
one of them.
man. So to go back to it, man, shout out to Manny Meggs, Marley B, Cash Lansky, Asky, Soul Point, Freddie Moso. Those are my guys. I've known these guys for a long time. So to be able to get the opportunity, to roll to another city and do something for the culture and for the city was just absolutely incredible. It was honestly the first time we were all in the same place,
Right.
For a few days. So that was incredible.
Definitely.
And the studio session prior the night before,
Yep.
and it was kind of like, and that's what I mean about like not wasting an opportunity, because you knew how I took that. When
Yep.
we got to the studio, it was like, yo, we're gonna create, we're gonna
Definitely.
make something that lives longer than us for the city. So, I mean that whole thing. And shout out Boulay Kev, Tony Chalk, the homie Cook. that was up there too, helping us out,
Yeah,
man.
shout out
Like, you know, it was just an incredible experience, man. And
Yeah.
you know, there was a Phoenix one prior, you know, but it's always been like a Tucson is like the little brother kind of
Right.
situation. Can't nobody tell me that we didn't big bro that whole shit. Can't nobody tell me that we did not.
Hey, talk your stuff, Tommy Will.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? I mean, there's nobody in Phoenix that can handle us, bro.
Hey.
There's nobody. You can one-on-one anybody. Nah,
hey, you heard it here first, y'all.
it ain't finna happen.
Tucson, we ain't messing around no more. We
I
here.
love them, bro. I respect them. I
Definitely.
respect everybody. There's so many people. Preem, Eddie Wells, those are my guys. I respect the shit out of Futuristic. You know, there's a bunch more up there. I just, you know, we have something that's just different.
Definitely.
You know, so it not necessarily, you know, I'm not gonna say like we better than nobody. Like no, like everybody's their own individual person. But I know that the culture that we have here in the city is the different dynamic than what they experience in Phoenix.
Definitely.
You know, and they know it when they come out here.
Right,
They know
definitely,
it.
definitely. I like you talked about the session we were in.
Incredible.
Right, I was.
Incredible.
First of all, let's talk about the just the ambiance of the studio. That was just a whole mood, yo.
Dog, shout out my boy Audi, bro. Shout out my boy Audi for allowing the situation to happen, man. He was the one. He pretty much said like, "Yo, Tommy, you my guy. Here the keys. Do what you got to do." You know what I mean? Shout out my guy Audi for real, bro.
We're like in another galaxy. Like,
dog, it
no
was
It
cap.
fire,
looked
man.
like
It was
it.
fire. It was
Dope.
it was a moment that, you know, if I had a superpower,
Yeah,
it would be
you-
time travel, so I could go back
You
to
already-
relive that moment.
Danielle, go ahead, hit him with it. Hit
You're
him with
really
it.
gonna take my
Hit him
question
with
away
it. I
from
know,
me?
you just gonna take the question.
It would be that. You know what I'm saying? No, and then shout out Truly as well.
Yeah,
That's
shout out Truly.
somebody I left out. Like, shout out Truly. You know, that's my guy. That's my dog. I've known him for, you know, a very long time as well, man.
Thanks.
He was definitely involved. And then you for A&R in the
Oh,
project,
man,
man.
I was just there, you know.
A&R the project, bro.
No, we ain't gonna talk about that. They ain't ready for all that. They ain't ready to hear all that.
So I'll tell you pretty much what had happened was, like, I tried to take the helm, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're in a room full of creatives, it's hard to, like, stay on track.
Yes.
You know, all of everything that we kind of, like, try to do is kind of, like, in the spur of the moment. But I'm also trying to make sure, like, yo, we got a time limit. I want to make sure that this gets on record, right?
Right.
So it was pretty much like, Manny produced the beats, and it was pretty much like, yo, Z, throw out a template. Like, what is this song gonna be about? And then he would say a word, and then be like, okay, bet, that's what it's about. And then I'm making sure everybody's on topic. Now, we're all grown men, so I'm not like no coach or like nothing like that. But it was kind of like I was so excited, you know, in the moment to have all these people that I respect, you know, and truly like love as peers, you know, be involved. And I just wanted to make sure that it was recorded for future reference,
Right.
you know. And we are going to be finishing the project.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's going to be more than just those 2-3 records that we recorded. I can't say how much I love those guys. Like, the community itself, you know, I can't say how much they inspire me every single day. You know, so to be able to have something that we can come back to years from now and be like, yo, we did that.
Facts.
You know, it's just it's incredible to me. It's
is.
everything to me.
It is. It was interesting because the songs are hard. Like when y'all hear these, y'all gonna be like, what? And then it was funny because they were talking about it and they're like, I don't think we all been in the same room together. Like it took us to go out of state to get us all in the same room together. But once
Which
it did,
is tragic, bro.
Right.
It's tragic.
right, and especially because you got a big space like Tommy Will's studio to do something like that. But I mean,
But hey, we can get to that. We can get to that. We can get to that too.
but I loved it. I loved every second of it. And the other thing I liked about it was I got to learn more about you guys outside of music. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see you guys in another lens. Like I saw Cash like as Cash. I saw Tommy Will as Tommy Will. You know what I mean? Like what they do on their off time, and it's literally really interesting. Tommy Will. Y'all probably don't notice about Tommy Will, but he be goofing off, man. He be trying to get on everybody's heads. No cap. This man was trying to come at me the whole trip because I was sleeping with my mouth open because Cash got me.
Slept with your mouth open, bro. It's
Man,
weird.
yeah, like I
It's
can
weird,
control that,
bro.
man. I'm sleeping out here. I'm dead, and Tommy Will just giving me, man.
So it goes back to being, you know, embracing situations, man. Like I've very much learned because it's something that I'd never done before to live in the moment, right? So you got to understand, as simple as it was in the time, that trip, I will never forget.
Yeah, me
You
neither.
will fully be a part of the rest of my life with that trip, with this interview. So will you. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I will remember for the rest of my life, because I'm always thinking about like interviews, like when I'm 40, 50 years old and I'm as successful as I feel and I know that I will be in the future. And when I can talk about these moments, I can talk about like I did an interview with Z Give and Daniela, you know, because at this point y'all are, you know, up here, and I can be like, yo, I did an interview with them in the basement of a place that used to be a psych ward 5 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I had to throw that in there.
Right. Yeah. I'm all right. Okay, wrap it up.
So, but yeah, no, we did an interview in the basement of this place that I called my home for a year and a half, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Those things, like these memories, like I never forget, you know, these motions. Like if I ever see someone with a leg tattoo, the first person I think of is my homie Mason. You know what I'm saying? Because you got it. I'm just, this is it. You know what I'm saying? But, no, what I'm saying, so. Shout
I didn't
out to
even
my
see
guy.
Maze.
No, but the biggest thing about this is just like never forget your memories, man. Like you live through those. Those are the things that inspire you. Like I constantly go back to music that I recorded 10, 12 years ago and I listen to it. And I'm proud of that kid because he never fucking gave up, man. He never stopped. He never stopped, bro. Like as many times as I wanted to quit because this shit was stressful, it was fucking with my health. I was broke. I was hungry. But I always knew, bro, if I stick with this, the bigger picture is going to be worth all of it. You got to understand, bro. I gave up having a family, having kids.
Yeah.
All of this stuff that regular people, not even regular people, that most people want to have in their life. Definitely. You know, the American dream. All that shit, a home and stuff like that, bro. I gave all of that up because I said I need this. It wasn't that I wanted to do this. I need this for me, for my soul, bro. Everything in it. You know, that's why I take the artistry to such an extent to give my full body and soul to all of this. Right. To where it's like I'll sacrifice everything, bro. I'll sacrifice everything. I tell people, and I'll ask y'all this question. It's my turn to ask y'all a question.
No.
Yeah, first.
If you, and this is something I think about every day, and this is you'll get the kind of depth that I get into. And if you were to lose your voice tomorrow, would you have said that it was worth it for everything that you have spoken thus far?
Wow. No, you first. Why are you looking at me?
Because you're
No, you first.
Again, if you were to lose your voice tomorrow, do you think everything that you have said thus far was worth it?
I would say yeah. Only because like just the experiences I've been part of in my career and my field, like not a lot of people get those experiences. So I feel like it has been. Like if I lose my voice tomorrow, I'm a quiet person, so that's fine. I'll be quiet all the time. But just to like have conversations with people I've had conversations with, it's worth it, 100%.
If I lost my voice tomorrow, I would be devastated.
It'd be so quiet.
She's like, thank God. No, I don't know. If I lost my voice, would I? Question again. Go ahead.
If you were to lose your voice tomorrow, do you think the words that you've spoken thus far would be worth it? Or do you feel like you would have more to say? That's really it. Yeah. Do you feel like you would have more to say?
Yeah.
But at this point, you're not capable, right?
Right.
So that's the whole thing. If I don't work, the experiences and opportunities that I could have had today, this is the way that I think, right? So even during this interview, I could have been recording a record, right? I will never get that record back. That I could have recorded in this moment, I will never get that back.
Right.
So I have to always create in order to never let an opportunity stray. So that's why I wanted them in that room and I wanted them to put their vocals down because that moment could never be recreated.
Not at all. Not at all.
And I firmly believe in these moments, you know, and whether they're hit records or whether they're just memories. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, because those things are only based on how we perceive them.
Right.
Right? A hit record to somebody is not a hit record to somebody else. You know, like Local Rapper was something that was so huge to me because it was something that meant so much to me. and people were able to gravitate towards it because it meant something to them.
Right.
It's a hit record in my eyes. There was no billboard, nothing like that. To me, that's a hit record because I was able to touch so many people on a topic that whether they rapped or not, they understood, right?
Definitely.
So it's all about, perception of things. And my perception is to hold as many memories as possible. And the more that I have in my hand, the better my life, man. I feel like I have so much to say. If I lose my voice tomorrow, I did not do enough. So I work every day like I have to continue speaking.
That's dope. I like that. Same for me. That's my answer.
Yo, but I will because I wanted to say this too, man. I went out to breakfast. I went out to Toast 101 this morning. And I had some breakfast.
Shout out Calvin.
Man, shout out my brother, man. My brother Calvin Jarvis, man. Shout out to my brother. I met a gentleman named Quincy. Okay. Right. Changed my whole dynamic. Right. Oh, no. The whole dynamic of my morning. I just wanted some eggs, bro. I just wanted some eggs. And this man gave me the rundown of a lifetime, man. As soon as I walked in, he was like, "Tommy Will." I said, "What's up, brother?" And stuff like. So we had a conversation. He ended up being our server and stuff like that. The man was so, just genuine in his words and his conversation, and it felt like he was on the journey with me. The way that he was kind of like talking to me and stuff like that. And I can't thank him enough for the conversation because it definitely inspired me throughout the day and for this. And I made sure that I wanted to, in the back of my head that I wanted to bring him up. So shout out Quincy, man. If you watch this, whenever you watch this, bro, I appreciate you for your conversation. Thank you so much, bro. It means the world. The man made me feel like I was 10 feet tall, bro. Wow. And it was more than, again, like the whole basis of it is being more than just rap, right? Right. Because he was like, bro, he's like the things that you do during, the BLM protests and the activism and, all things of this nature and, being a black man and creating, a business and living for your community and stuff like that. It was more than just like saying like, yo, you made a cool song. Right. And that's the whole thing about being in this, like I'm in this to do more than just make cool music, man. That's like literally 10% of it. Right. Like I want to leave a legacy, man. Like I want something to where like 20 years from now, people can be like, yo, like I remember when Tommy was on this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not necessarily that I created anybody or that I helped anybody get to a certain point, but there was like, yo, like Tommy was here. No. Like he was a part of this door. I just want my name on the door. You know what I'm saying? To say that I unlocked it, at least a portion. I feel that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm off track, man.
No, it's all good. No, go off, man. Shout out Quincy.
Man, shout out Quincy, man, bro. I appreciate you, bro, for real.
You got Danielle over here tearing up.
I'm saying, man, this shit is real, bro. This shit is real. That's why I'm asking how much time y'all got, man. Like, I'm out here
trying all day.
I want to say everything, man. I want to say it all, bro.
So, Tommy, if you could pick any superhero power, what would it be and why?
It would definitely be time travel. So I could experience moments that I've felt before, and also kind of depict what the future would be. Because if you go to the past, you can change the future, right? But doesn't necessarily mean that I want to change the future. I just want to experience things that I've experienced prior. Just certain moments, times with family members, times with, music is, my first college game. Things like that, being able to go back. And even if I wasn't living them in the moment, but just being able to see them, like as a third person kind of thing, and just kind of relive the feelings of those. Definitely. Because I derive everything from feeling and memory. As you can tell what we've talked about, so far, like that would definitely be it. Like a super Doctor Strange and see like the, the different universes and the time and the outcomes and stuff like that. But I wouldn't change a thing of anything that I've done, whether it's good or bad. They made me into the person that I am today, and I think I'm a pretty damn good person. I think I have a good heart. Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't change anything. I would just want to relive some of those moments.
Fine. That's dope. It's interesting because like when people say time travel, they're like, or when we ask them like, why would you want to go to the past or to the future? They always say they want to go to the future because they don't want to forget their past, because the past is what made them. So you just want to go back to the past to just relive and just have that feeling again.
100%.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know, there were so many mistakes that I made in the past that, you know, I want to go back and see, like, why did I make that mistake? You know, like, what kind of mind state was I in to even agree to do some shit like that?
Definitely.
You know, and things like that. Like, you know, so I could learn from them in the present and then continue. You know, I'm happy with the person that I am today. And again, like, I just want to go back and kind of visit those moments, see where my head was at, and then move forward. I probably wouldn't go to the future at all. Like,
I wouldn't want to know my future.
You know, and see what's up. So
That's crazy. Cause you know what's funny? Your YouTube channel name hasn't changed at all.
it has not.
It's still Giddy Gouda, and I think that's so funny. Cause I was in the live stream when they rolled the premiere, and I was like, "Where's Tommy Will at?" And then I saw Giddy Gouda. I was like, "No way he kept that using it." So what weird question, but what made you keep that?
So one, I didn't want to change it because of the visuals that I have already on there.
Okay.
I didn't want to change, or like have to re-upload or anything like that. And then two, it was kind of like, if people are gonna follow me, they're gonna follow me regardless. So
Right.
I mean, it was just something like that was literally the beginning of my career.
Right.
I can't hide that. I don't want to hide it.
No, not at all.
You know, so why change it? You know, at this point, you know, for people to be like, you know, tell me like, oh, all your socials should be under the same name. Yeah, you're right. But that was a major part of my life.
Yeah.
And there's about 10 years of music on that shit. So
I loved it. I enjoyed it. I got a good laugh out of it. I was in my apartment
dog,
watching it. I was
man.
like, oh, shit, Giddy Gouda.
I'm done with you. Oh, so what made you not want to continue basketball? Because you are a good basketball player. I've seen you play
appreciate that.
basketball. You played in college. So, Zion,
He's all right. We got to run.
what was the initial switch to be like, okay, you know, basketball is part of me, but music is my life?
So there's a very extensive part of yourself to where you have to figure out what's worth it in the end, right? So when I came to the point of, I had always given 50-50.
Right.
You know, there was never 100% to where it was 100% music or 100% basketball. But going to college and playing ball was always the goal. Like, at a point, if again, being a realist was like, I'm probably not going to make it to the league. Because it takes more than me to make sure those things happen, right? You're on a team of 5. When you're on the floor, it's 5 of y'all against 5 others. No matter what I do personally, it wouldn't matter if the other 4 weren't looking out for me, right? With music, it's a one-man sport. I can get better by myself. I can learn by myself. I can grow by myself. My height didn't matter. My strength didn't matter. My speed didn't matter. The height I could jump, none of that mattered. It was just my determination and my dedication, right? So I had to come to a pause, and it only came recently, maybe a few years ago, to where when I was going to LA Fitness and I was going and playing around these men's leagues, and I was like, I'm playing like I'm trying to get another scholarship. When I could be using these 3-4 hours of playing basketball to put into music and really go full time. Because I'm like, at this point, like, music was everything, right? So it took me so long, and it was such a heart-wrenching kind of experience to be like, you got to put the shoes away, bro. And once I did that, I got closure, and I was able to focus on what I felt should be, right? Because going 50-50 with anything, no matter what it is not going to work, right? Because there's people going 100, 110, 120% on one thing. Right. So if I want to be in that race and I'm giving 50%, absolutely the fuck not. No, absolutely not. So I was like, yo, I'm going to give 100% into this thing. You know, we've talked about these situations before. Like, I went from going out and trying to record with other people and recording on a headset into Cool Edit Pro at the time to recording in my house, finally getting like a cheap mic and recording the same way. And then I went to investing into a small, maybe 80 square foot room. The shit was like, from this arm to this arm, big. I could fit a table and a computer. That was it. To then jumping into a room of this space and being able to create. Everything was a jump. Nothing was like, yo, I'm going to be able to afford this and shit's going to be cool. Like, no, everything was a jump, bro. Like, it was always like, I don't know if this is going to work out, but I'm not going to not try it. Right? And then now in 2 months, I'm going to have my own storefront. Bro, like...
Wow. You just say it again? Hold on. Wait,
in 2
what?
months, I'm going to have my own storefront.
Wow.
Yeah, Urban Legend is going to turn into a storefront. We're going to be located. I'm not going to tell you where we're located
Oh,
yet.
I thought everybody get that.
We're going to be on the east side. We're going to be on the east side. And, like, we have a storefront. We're going to be able to sell the clothes and merchandise from all the artists in the room. Like, in the city, we're going to have a studio in the back. We're going to be able to do everything that we're doing in here, but we're literally going to be like a true business to the eye. You know what I'm saying? Because my biggest thing is I want to make sure that everybody's taken seriously. Right? From the class to other people's artistry, even people that I don't know, man. I get really into your face when it gets with music. As you can tell, the way that I'm speaking right now, like I call it the Yeezus effect. I'm a huge fan of Kanye. I fucking love the man. I think he is the most like verbally creative person musically, right?
I couldn't disagree.
And whether he talks to you in a way that like irks your nerves or like touches your soul, he still talks to you and you feel something, right? So now I don't agree with a lot of things that he says, but the way that he kind of comes about things with just pure passion is something that I truly look up to with him. So when I say things to people, I meet people on the road or like literally outdoors. There was a kid, I don't even remember his name. I just know that we shared the same name. His name was Nate. I think it's King Nate.
Oh, yeah,
Truly brought him down.
Yeah,
he was at the show. And he was like, bro, you have a great stage presence. And just from that, I gave him like a 25-minute conversation about like how good he is and how to try to unlock his potential. Because I just care about this shit so much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just go off on these tangents and try to like, I'm not like trying to force myself to inspire, but bro, like when you care about something, the shit just comes out.
Right, definitely.
And once I reach that point of, I don't care, bro. You're either going to take this or you're not, but I'm not going to feel right unless I say it.
Right.
Exactly. So you're going to have to handle these 20 minutes. You're going to handle these 20 minutes and then go about your day. If you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. But dog, like I love talking about people's creative process. I love talking about why do you love the things that you love. Saying because I learn from those. It's about as much as I can give as much as I can take at the same time, so.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
So this is going to be the last question for the day because Tommy Will could go for hours and we can make it. We're talking about making the longest podcast ever. What was the record?
36 hours.
36 hours. So we're going to come back here.
That's a lot.
And we're going to beat the record. We're going to be here with Tommy, and we're going to be here with Maze in the back. We're going to be here with Mankind.
Yeah.
We're going to be here with Sparrow Productions. And we're going to bust the Guinness World Record, you know what I'm saying? But last question, I'm going on a real off tangent, but who do you got? NBA championship or
Brooklyn Nets.
You just said that? You just said
Brooklyn
that?
Nets.
You just said that.
Not even because I'm a fan. I hate Brooklyn.
Right, but
I'm a Houston Rockets fan.
I need a why.
But James Harden is the greatest player of all time.
Oh, my gosh. All right, with that being said, Tommy Will, thanks for your time.
Hey, man. James Harden is the greatest player of all time, bro.
We can break
it down. Hey, man, we can break it down.
But, yo, so.
That man is getting his ring, bro. He's getting his ring this year.
All right, he's saying that. I'm not going to tell you who I think it is. Daniela, do you have any opinion on that?
Not at all.
She's like, the Philly Flyers.
She said basketball?
Basketball? The Raptors. She's like, they ain't even playing odds, boy. I'm just kidding. But that's going to wrap it up for us today with Down to Spiral with Tommy Will, Spiral Productions, and Takeover Lounge. We are here. We are out of here. Where can they follow you at, man?
They can follow me at HaveWill, HXVEWILL. I use the X because it's trendy. You can follow me on all social media platforms. You can also follow me at It's The Shift, which is my duo group with Mickey Shiloh, my motherfucking dog, I wish I could have had more time to talk about you. I love you. Thank you for everything. She's absolutely incredible. We're gonna have to save that for the 36-hour podcast because I could talk about her for like at least
Let's do
17
it.
hours. At It's the Shift, we drop a song every Sunday. Make sure you tap in with that. Yeah, man. Tommy will have dedication, have heart, have the hope to do whatever the fuck you want to do in life. I got your back regardless whether you know it or not.
You can follow him on YouTube at Giddy Gouda.
Get it good with the Prince, man. Get it good with the Prince. Straight up, bro. That's on Verve, dog. That's
Yo,
on Verve.
shout out Tommy Will. Thank you for your time, man.
Bro,
I
thank
mean,
y'all for having me. I appreciate
You're
it. Thank you for
welcome.
coming by, man. I love y'all. I could talk for hours, and hopefully there's a part 2. Thank you to Down the Spiral for holding it down. The setup is absolutely fucking amazing. You guys are incredible, man. I appreciate y'all for giving people a platform to talk about what we create because, as you can tell, it means the absolute world to all of us. So thank you, guys.
Wouldn't be here without you. And lastly, you can follow us at Lounge Takeover. You can follow Takeover Media at Takeover AZ Media. You can follow Spiral Productions at Spiral Productions _. And you can follow me personally at Z__GIV. You can follow Daniela at.
Danny World Takeover.
And yo, we are out of here. We'll see you next time. Peace. How you gonna say Geico? How you gonna say the Geico slogan?